People of Isla, first order of business is changing the name of this country. It's now called Bananarama, and the national anthem is Venus. Pedro, hit it! Now, dance! I said dance, you're all terrible! Except you, you're good. Everybody do what he's doing. How do you do that?
A lot of my videos are about the negatives of VRChat, but I'm going to bring you one positive scene you can check out, and that's the rave community. And I'm going to actually tell you why I prefer it over going to real-life raves. Now, some of you may be thinking, Officer Kiwi, what the hell is a rave? A rave is typically a high-energy dance event centered around a music set, like a live DJ, but with an extensive culture rooted into it. At real-life raves, you might witness some interesting social interactions such as trading candy bracelets, sprouting someone where you place a little plant on them, or giant totems with funny comments on them or nods to their favorite artists. Real-life raves can get pretty crazy depending on the crowd, but there's always been the underlying principles that ravers follow, which is PLUR: peace, love, unity, and respect. Part of why I like raves on VRChat is because of the level of inclusivity. No one cares if you're a random dude, a furry, an anime character, or even a walking light show. You're accepted. Another reason why raves on VRChat are great is because they don't cost anything to go to. At any time of the night, you and your friends can hop into a rave instance, dance, listen to music, and have fun. For my disabled friends that don't get out much but like to party, this scene is definitely for you. No temperatures that are overbearing, no threat of losing a mobility aid or even having a seizure, as most raves in VRChat let you toggle on and off lighting effects. Can't really do that in most real-life raves. I personally don't have great mobility at all, so being able to sit down and enjoy a rave without being crushed by dancers around me is an awesome feeling. I also love the creativity in these scenes. There's a lot of cool effects that DJs and artists can make in these rave worlds, and a lot of them they work very hard on. Another great thing about the VRChat rave scene is this live events tab. Here you can find raves or live music that you can go and enjoy. It's simply just a tab that's meant for navigating. But it's really helpful because if you've never been to a rave before or you can't find the niche scenes of the type of music that you like, you can come here and see what's being displayed. To get an idea of how high energy and fun these raves can be, here's some clips of the rave experiences I've had that you can use to evaluate if you'd like to attend one or not. Hey, what do you guys like the most about the VRChat rave scene?
I like that if you want to make music, you don't need to like seek out some date on the calendar at some place and jump through all their hoops to get booked there or whatever it is and play music you don't care about. You can just pop up an instance, literally just sitting in your living room, just so you know what, I want to make some music right now. Pop open an instance.
That same vein, it's the freedom that it gives DJs and people who aspire to be DJs to really play the music that they love, as Mercury said, but also just to not have to be tied to exorbitant costs. I know plenty of DJs who DJ with just keyboard and mouse. It's not like you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a bunch of equipment.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
He's like going in slow motion.
Stick a magnet on my head, bro.
I was gonna ask you, what do you like the most about the VRChat Rave scene?
Accessibility.
I 100% agree. It's so awesome for, especially disabled people to be able to come up to raves and stuff.
Or, just in general, creating opportunity. At the very least, this runs on a cell phone. At the very most, it runs on a supercomputer, and somebody has sensors from top to bottom. It really varies by experience, but the fact that it is open enough to allow all of that. For instance, this world right here allows Quest and Android, just Android devices to connect along with PC people, whereas the more sophisticated nightclubs are a little more taxing and demanding, and you can only pretty much join them with a PC VR setup arrangement, which I'm not arguing against that being an issue. I just like the fact that there's options for everybody.
Some of the safeguards that VRC has, a lot of people don't go out to raves because they're worried about the noise or the heat or the, how expensive it is or being around people, but here you can change all those things. You can turn the lights off if you need to, you can turn the sound down.
Oh, yeah!
If someone bothers you, you can block them, it's just so accessible to everyone that I think anyone can have a good time.
Oh my god, that goes back to our accessibility. So I guess that word accessibility describing VR rave is a pretty accurate term, because it covers, like you said, it covers not just the actual okay, we're partying right now, but what it actually is doing for people, what it can do for people outside of just the DJ. Because we first talked about DJs being able to set up in the living room. We never once considered in the early part of the conversation about what it's actually doing for party people, people that well, I guess you did say disabled, so maybe somebody that might not be able to go into every nightclub because it's not wheelchair accessible can now freely roam and interact as if they actually would want to in a different setting where they can't actually.
Yeah, and people that don't have the money to do it, they can come in here anytime and enjoy a show without having to worry about that financial burden. They can invite their friends and all enjoy, and and especially people that have maybe they're not comfortable going out because they identify as something else. They have a different identity. They can be whatever they want here, so they're just free to be as they want without any fear of judgment or burden.
You want to hope that too, but just like real life, there's
hiccups.
There's clicks. People click up. People are strongly opinionated and have certain. They want their VR experience a certain way. So there's still the latter. But I've run into more of the positive aspects, as we've been talking about, more often than anything.
The light is so realistic. Oh, he looks like a strobe.
What do you guys like the most about it?
And for me, I think the biggest part is just how absolutely welcoming and full of love it's really been. It's just sitting here with the nature of the VRChat, the type of places where you're gonna see all kinds of people in any kind of configuration you can imagine, and everybody just, for the most part, accepts one another as they are, and it's made me very comfortable here.
The freedom on multiple levels too. Not only is there actual freedom, but the freedom to express, to be you, to bring yourself, to not be afraid to be yourself and show yourself and just be. This is one of the best places for it.
Oh my god. I'm done.
There might be an oven on me, but I identify as both. You want the source?
Boba. Dude, I'm just mesmerized by it.
By the shrubbery.
I love that shrubbery.
Shrubberies. Holy.
Some great communities to check out are groups like ShelterNet, Bite Cats, and Heist. These are rave venue groups that throw some amazing shows, and you should definitely take a look at them. Another key positive to the VRChat rave scene is the moderation. There's been only a handful of times I've walked into a rave and noticed minors, or seen arguments or fights taking place, and that's not very much considering the amount I've been to. Moderation is typically pretty tight, and most of these large rave instances you will find will most likely be age-gated in some way or another. There's also something special about how global these raves are. You could be dancing next to someone from another country, another culture, another time zone, all sharing the same moment. Language barriers don't much matter when everyone's moving to the same beat. That kind of connection is hard to replicate in real life, especially without spending a ton of money traveling. And let's be real, things are getting way more expensive. And yeah, I won't pretend VRChat raves completely replace real life ones. The bass doesn't hit your chest the same way, and you might not get that physical crowd energy. But what you do get is accessibility, creativity, and a community that genuinely wants you there. For a lot of people, myself included, that trade-off is absolutely worth it. So if you've ever been curious about raves but felt excluded, overwhelmed, or priced out of real-life events, this is your sign. The VRChat rave community is one of the rare corners of the platform that consistently gets it right. It's fun, it's welcoming, and it reminds us that VRChat does have dark corners, but it can also have great corners.
So who's going to be the new general?
I'm sure they'll find the best man for the job.